You know, it's funny. Every day we interact with products that have these like huge, complex systems behind them, but we rarely stop to think about it. Take animal feed, for example.
Right.
You probably don't spend too much time pondering like those bags of pet food at the store
Nah.
or the grain silos you see, driving through the countryside.
Yeah, yeah.
But behind those everyday sights is this whole hidden world of animal feed operators. And today, we're diving deep to uncover what makes this career tick.
Yeah, it's fascinating how something so seemingly simple, like animal feed, is actually a cornerstone of our entire food system.
It really is. And we're lucky to have this detailed guide from RoleCatcher to help us kind of navigate this world.
Absolutely.
So let's start unpacking. When you hear animal feed operator, what's the first image that pops into your head? Because I'll admit, I'm picturing like a dusty old factory and maybe a bored-looking guy pushing buttons. It's a classic image. But the reality is much more dynamic. While large-scale production is definitely part of the picture, RoleCatcher highlights the sheer variety within this field.
Okay.
Imagine working on a farm, ensuring livestock get like the perfect blend of nutrients, or maybe you're in a high-tech facility overseeing automated
Okay,
systems.
that's already way more interesting than my initial image. And speaking of high tech, the guide mentions new technologies impacting the field. What exactly are we talking about here? Is this where my robot arm carefully measuring out chicken feed fantasy comes true?
You're not far off.
Okay.
Robotics is definitely playing a growing role. Think about it. These operators often deal with massive quantities of feed.
Yeah.
So automation can help with everything from precise ingredient mixing to packaging and even distribution.
So it's not just about vertical strength and operating machinery anymore. You need some serious tech skills too. Absolutely. And this is where it gets really interesting. RoleCatcher emphasizes that those new technologies aren't just changing the tasks. They're changing the entire skill set needed to succeed as an animal feed operator.
Wow.
We're talking about data analysis, understanding automation systems, and even troubleshooting high-tech equipment.
So it's not just about feeding animals, it's about understanding the technology that makes that process possible.
Precisely. And as someone considering this career path, understanding those technological advancements is critical.
It seems like there are a lot of misconceptions about this field. When someone says animal feed operator, most people probably don't picture someone who needs to be like tech savvy to succeed.
I agree. And that actually highlights a crucial point in RoleCatcher's guide, the need for continuous learning in this field. Just like those new technologies are changing the industry, they're also changing what it takes to be a successful animal feed operator.
So you can't just like rest on your laurels. You need to constantly adapt and upgrade your skills. But where do you even begin? RoleCatcher does mention different stages in this career path. Does this mean there's like a clear ladder to climb?
There is. RoleCatcher breaks it down into four main stages: entry level, junior operator, senior operator, and finally lead operator.
Okay.
Each stage comes with its own set of responsibilities and challenges. It's not just about moving up, it's about gaining mastery at each level.
Okay, let's break that down a bit. Say you're just starting out, maybe fresh out of high school. What does an entry-level animal feed operator actually do all day? Is it all like grunt work and following orders?
Not at all. Even at the entry level, you're responsible for crucial tasks that directly impact the quality and safety of the feed.
Okay.
For instance, imagine a huge shipment of corn arrives at the facility. As an entry-level operator, you might be tasked with checking the quality of the corn, making sure it meets the required standards.
So like, are you checking each grain individually? How does that even work?
That's where your training comes in. You'll learn how to analyze samples, maybe even operate some basic testing equipment.
Wow.
And it's not just about checking the corn itself. You're also responsible for logging the shipment into the system, making sure it's properly documented, and ensuring it's stored correctly to prevent spoilage.
Okay, so attention to detail is key here. You're not just pushing buttons, you're responsible for making sure things run smoothly.
Exactly. And that's just one small example of what an entry-level operator might do. As you progress to a junior operator, you'll take on more responsibilities,
Okay.
like operating more complex machinery, troubleshooting minor issues. You'll be surprised how much problem solving is involved.
Problem solving under pressure, probably. When like a machine decides to act up in the middle of a production run. So you're learning on the job, gaining experience, and then what? What does the path to becoming a senior operator look like?
That's where your skills and experience really start to shine. As a senior operator, you're the go-to person on the floor. Imagine you walk into the facility and you hear a strange noise coming from one of the machines. Everyone else is scrambling. But you, as the senior operator, you know exactly what to do.
Okay, I can see how that would earn you some serious respect on the floor. You're not just operating the machines, you understand them inside and out. And you're probably mentoring those junior operators, right? Passing on those hard-earned nuggets of wisdom.
Exactly. Sharing your knowledge becomes a big part of the role as you move up. You might even be involved in training new hires on specific equipment or processes.
So you've mastered the machinery, you're the mentor everyone looks up to, you're basically the superhero of animal feed production. What's next? Is there still room to climb higher on this career ladder?
There is, and that's where the lead operator role comes in. Think of the lead operator as the conductor of an orchestra.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Keep going with this analogy.
So just like a conductor guides the musicians to create a harmonious symphony, a lead operator orchestrates all aspects of production. They're not just focused on one machine or process. They're responsible for the entire production line.
So they're thinking about the big picture, making
Mhm.
sure everything runs smoothly and efficiently.
Exactly. They're coordinating production schedules, managing teams of operators, ensuring quality control standards are met, and constantly looking for ways to optimize the process. Um, it's a highly demanding role, but also incredibly rewarding.
Yeah, it sounds like it requires a unique blend of technical expertise, people management skills, and a strategic mindset.
You hit the nail on the head. And here's where those new technologies we keep discussing come into play even more.
Okay.
A lead operator needs to be comfortable with data analysis, automation systems, and all the complexities of a modern production facility.
Right.
They're not just leading people, they're leading the charge into the future of animal feed production.
It's really impressive how much depth there is to this career path. We often take for granted where our food comes from, but so much goes on behind the scenes to ensure that animals are receiving the best possible nutrition.
It's a vital part of our food system,
Yeah.
and it's only going to become more important as the global population grows. And that brings up another fascinating aspect we haven't even touched on yet, the science behind the feed itself.
You're talking about the actual ingredients, the formulations, all that good stuff.
Exactly. We focused on the operators, the people who make the whole system work. But there's a whole other world of animal nutritionists, scientists, and researchers who are constantly developing new and improved feed formulations.
It's like a secret recipe. But instead of creating a delicious cake, they're optimizing the health and productivity of livestock.
It's more complex than just a recipe. It's about understanding the specific nutritional needs of different animals at different stages of their lives, sourcing high-quality ingredients, and ensuring that the feed is safe and effective.
It's amazing how much goes into something we rarely even think about. So, to our listener, if you've ever driven past a farm and wondered about those giant feed silos, or if you've ever stood in the pet food aisle and felt overwhelmed by the choices, remember this. There's a whole world behind that bag of feed, a world of dedicated individuals, cutting edge technology, and a commitment to providing the best possible nutrition for the animals that sustain us. It's a hidden world, but it's one worth exploring further.